Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Hockey Republic. And today I'm not alone. I got a co-host, a brother who we share a lot in common. Today we'll not talk about that. We'll have another avenue to talk about that. But man, Karis, how are you? Sorry, you're muted. Okay, good. Now you can say something. How are you?
I'm fine. Unani mute tena, unaniuliza muted. Hi. It's good to be here, manze.
Unajua hivi ndio wewe unafanya watu mahali. Sasa lazima pia leo uweke hiyo katreat kidogo.
Nitaomba msamaha.
Niombe msamaha. For those who
Nitaomba
may not
msamaha.
know who Karis is, who is Karis?
Karis, job na do mi ni radio presenter na work at Hope FM. As a radio presenter, I host the evening show. Hata nimekimbia sana ndo nifike kwa nyumba before 7:30. Imeisha 7. Lakini tuko hapa hivi. So that is Karis. I love hockey. I've played hockey tangu nijijue bro yangu mbigi alikuwa anachezanga hockey. So alikuwa ananiintroduce nikiwa mdogo tu pole pole, but I went to UG High. There's a guy called Ken Gomeri, anachezea Thika Rovers. That is the guy who trained me. Then I went to my university, and kama ulienda my university, you know the team I play for. Then I joined Park Roads.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Park Road. Both of those teams there are not doing too well.
Nikubaya manze, nikubaya.
Anyway, we'll discuss that. Of course, you're going to talk about the review of week 6 matches. That is one of the things we're going to discuss. We have the reaction from the Western Jaguars loss. We're trying to get Mike Malungu again inside here to just tell us more about that game and what went wrong, because people don't lose. The Western Jaguars doesn't lose at home, but we are seeing, seems like it's a different season for them.
It's a different difficult season for almost everybody, apart from a few teams.
Yeah, and then we have, of course, what is happening this weekend. The league is taking a break, but then we are going to discuss the Easter Tournament, which has been organized. And then, of course, we have more and more latest news. If you'd like to get in touch with us, just get onto the comment section and join in, even as we hit the road running. So let's begin with the review of week 6. And Karis, if we can look at some of the games that were played in the men's Premier League. On Saturday we had Strathmore beating MSC 4-3. This is an unlucky team, and we're going to discuss about that. Then we had taking on Western Jaguars. That game ended 1-0 away in Kakamega, and then this is the second time actually USIU has been beat Western Jaguars at home. And then we have Sharks who drew 1-1 with Sailors. Very interesting results there. And then we have Strathmore beating Park Road Badgers 2-1. Can we start there and tell me what's going on?
Man, the psych in camp before this game was top notch bana. No, guys were like tumechapwa bana, lazima tujikomboe. Guys are not happy. That's one thing I can tell you. Guys are not happy, and whoever we're gonna face next, I pray all that anger ishukia hapo hivyo. I cannot really explain what is happening, because if we were with you watching the Butali game, you know, there is something in the team.
Yes,
there is something in the team. I feel like it's working, you know, the young guys and the experience we had, manze. I don't know if we missed Jerry at the back last weekend, because it was quite solid during the Butali game. But Park Roads, man, we do not give up. We do not give in to all this, but it's not a good run for both teams. But you're talking about Badgers. It's really not a good run. We are not happy. Tulichapwa manze, hiyo tu ndo kitu, hakuna excuse kwa camp. You know, somebody tried to give excuse akanyamazishwa. Tulisema tulichapwa. na tulitandika na tumekuwa tukichapwa.
But you mentioned something that is very interesting about Dij, because the games that he has missed, it has not been easy. You have actually lost those games.
Yeah. And being at the terrace against Butali, we saw the tackles he made. We saw the kind of impact he had, and we also saw what happened after he got injured. So it's an opportunity for the young guys to take the space, but we missed him. We missed him in that game. We missed the leadership. I've played with him. I know he speaks to guys. I know he looks at the pitch. So zingine, it's not just about the interception and all that, but the leadership kinda we missed kwa hiyo game manze. Nah. It went like that. We are hoping to redeem ourselves tukienda Mombasa because that's our next venture. But so far, it's not a good run. There's no excuse. It's a man's game, as we say, but we've not been good.
Okay.
That's
and then
a very honest review.
Yes, very honest. And I know we are going to talk about the team that we play for, which is coming back in just a bit. But let's look at the other team. That was Alendo against Jaguars. 11th minute, the game was decided. That was it, 1-0. And they seem to have were happy with that one score. What's your take of Western Jaguars? You have also watched them play. I think, yes, you have watched them play. I believe.
I've watched them play. They don't lose at home. I feel like they've mastered the art of playing where they know the best. But also they're playing against a good defensive team. Experienced player. For me, it's a surprise. It's not a surprise. It's a surprise for them losing at home. But also against a team that is good defensive wise. At times you just go there and wacha tuwafunge. There are teams, like we are saying with you, there are teams that when you score, you control the game. And when they score you, it's hard for you to come back in the game. And that was the kind of scenario that was in this game. About the games to come, I feel like Western Jaguars still have a point to prove. They're going to be stronger and better. But in this one, there are teams that mkienda boardroom manze mnaangalia hii lazima tuwafunge mapema, wakitufunga inaweza enda vibaya, and that is how it went. But a good game. They've really improved. That's what I can say.
And they're quite a junior side, so
yeah.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I hope that Mike will be able to finally get in because he's been having internet issues. And of course, the last Premier League side that we're going to talk about is Kenya Police beating MSC 3-0. I watched this game. It's become very interesting watching Sunday matches, 11 o'clock, especially for Police. Because Police, I think that day they had to, just like what you're saying about Park Road Badgers, they had to come and win that game because they were like, what? Last time we were with you when I was asking Chikuku why he was putting his head down.
Shikuku, kwanza, whoever pays Shikuku needs to add salary, manze. The guy is overworking pale kwa terrace.
Yeah, but I like it because he gives honest opinions of
he's so honest. He's so honest.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter which side, even if it's his own team, he speaks the same. And so them winning this game was a pretty interesting one. In fact, let me just look for the audio for that game, and then I'm going to play it out on, because he's the one who Mugambi said talk to the press today. So I'm going to play a clip about what he had said regarding that match. But nonetheless, they were happy. At least they are 3 points up, and we're going to look at the table standings.
And there's something about them. Sorry to interject. The other match they lost. I jokingly asked one of them, mumepigana ngapi leo? And you see the look alinipatia ilikuwa buda, unasema nini wewe? You could see they felt bad, and you could tell the next game how they're gonna perform. There's no way they were gonna lose that match, and I want to say here categorically, there's no way they're gonna lose the next match.
Mm. Yeah, but this is the Premier League, man. You never know.
Yeah, those guys are they are not happy and ni serikali bana.
Yeah. Wanaweza ambiwa sasa hakuna kupewa basi tena. Mpige kama mnakimbia kutoka depo. Wanaitanga depo kwenye wanatuinia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the Super League men, and I know this is where now you want to hide under the table. But this weekend we didn't play. We only had one match. Now that was Youngsters against Wazalendo Masters. Youngsters defeated Wazalendo Masters 2-1.
And Wazalendo Masters,
yeah, owning their pitch and yeah, your take.
For us, hiyo inaumata zaidi, you know, like Wazalendo Masters did that thing kwetu, and then they lose to Youngsters. My take on this the Super League is, I feel like during the COVID season, hizi makampo vijana wadogo walienda zoezi. They have a certain stamina. They might be missing on the basics, but there's something that works with them, and you know, like we get a million chances, they only get 2 or 3, and that comes with you know, they've worked together. At times it's just the being compact that really helps. Wazalendo, for me, manze, I was shocked. I was not in that game. I was at work, but I got the result. The next game also, we were with you there when we lost. I say these university teams, including Youngsters, they're not a team to joke. Any team that has played against them this first leg, if we get to the second leg, you don't have to say tuliwapiga mbili last time, tuliwapiga moja last time. It's a different ball game in the Super League. As I've played 4 of the games there, it's a different ball games. You know, mnacheza, yes, mnaona, yes, mnapata opportunity, but you relax kidogo, those guys have punished you, and it's 1 goal, 2 goal, and you're done. And I think Wazalendo walipatana na the same fate tulipatana nayo.
Okay, let's look at there was nothing in the National League. Moving on to the what is this, Premier League women. Sailors drew 0-0 with Sliders. At least Sliders get to have a point.
I say they have 1 point in 4 games played.
Yeah, in 4 games played. So inaonekana engine imeanza kushika moto hapo kidogo.
I think then also you know, Sailors, the next game they are facing Strats. Itakuwa rahisi. Yes. No, they are playing against USIU. They're against Strath, by the way. Itakuwa rahisi. Yes. So this win, it was like, man, there's a harder game coming. Let's go all out and win this game. I feel like that was the attitude for them in preparing to meet the Wasewa Strath wenye nacheki manze. 3 games, 9 points, that is solid, and goal difference is 6. Big up to them ladies, manze.
Yeah, it is. Mike Malunga, I don't know if you can hear us. Okay, let's wait for that. Sunday we had Lakers being beaten by USIU. USIU seems to be really on fire this time round. Yeah.
Hii hapa imekuwa noma. You know, 7 points, 9 points Strat. USIU is not here to play. I kind of feel bad for Lakers, manze, but also I see they've only played 1 game, so they still have a chance. Not a good start for them, but also the team they were playing against Pia. I feel like not an easy team, so I can give Lakers some benefit of doubt, because I see 3 games. The Sliders hata ndo nipatia wasiwasi sana with 4 games. Lakers can still win 2 games. You're up there, but whatever USIU is doing is really working, and I feel like wanna push Strath pia. So I expect a very interesting game, because also Blazers there, it's not gonna be easy. Top 3 itakuwa game poa sana, itakuwa fiti.
Do you think both Premier League games will be won on on goal difference? The two Premier League.
The men and the women.
Yes.
The women, I'll say it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Premier League, nah. Let's just say a point or two, but I wouldn't say itakuwa on goal difference. Kutakuwa clear winner, a point or two. I don't want to predict who will win right now, but but I don't think it will be a draw kwa Premier League, manze. These guys are out there for blood, and they'll get blood.
Mike, I don't know if you can hear me. I'd like your input on this. Actually, he's on mute. Now you're on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
Hey,
Perfect.
Mike.
Karibu sana. Tumekuwa tukikungoja.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Mgeni mheshimiwa, karibu.
Asante.
Mike. Give us your thoughts on your weekend games. You lost 2 matches at home.
Yeah, apologies. I have network challenges here in the video. Yeah?
No problem.
I think the audio is better.
Yeah, the audio is better.
Yeah,
so
it can't get worse than that, eh?
Go on, Mike.
Yeah, just as I've said, it can't get worse than that.
It's actually better. Okay.
We lost, but looking at the statistics, we were dominant, but just as you've observed, our visitors got early goals. They came in and defended resolutely. We were not able to make use of our chances. Like, if you take a look at the Sunday's game, Wazaland actually got 2 pieces. They converted 1 against our 16 pieces. So we have a lot to do in terms of converting our chances and then getting our style of play flowing. Because at the moment, we are not really having the flow in our matches. So we hope that with the break that we've had, we will be able to get back into our normal style of play.
But Mike, let me ask you. You have won, I think, two tournaments before the preseason tournament, and the team seem to have been gelling. They have gelled very well. But what is happening now? With I know you have only played probably 4 matches.
Remember, coming into the Premier League, we had a layoff for 1 month. And I want to believe that layoff has had an effect on the performance of the team, considering that the opponents we played against have been in and out of the Premier League before we had our matches coming in.
Okay. Good. So stay with me. Let's just finish with these reviews, and we're actually on the last one, and that is Blazers finally getting back to their winning ways. Karis, let me begin with you. What's your take? Unaona kama wamerudi?
Wametishia. Let them do it in the next game, alafu tutasema wamerudi. It's just as simple as that. Lakini wayuko pabaya. Consider though with with a one game advantage also kwa table, sioni kama Strath USIU wins bado wanabaki mahali walibaki. But let's wait for the next game. I enjoyed watching them, and I hope to be there in the next match. It's a team that excites me.
Yeah, fantastic goal by Bushu. Very, very fantastic goal. Mike.
Ule naye ni experience moto manze. I see such talent and I'm like, oh my god. Yes. Acha nisiwachoche sana. Wacha washinde ligi alafu niite, nitawachocha vinoma.
Mike, you also coach the ladies national team. What's your take of the Premier League ladies? Because I know you watch quite a bit of their matches.
There's change that is taking place. You've got to accept that, because you can. The last time I watched USIU play, I've watched Strathmore play. This season I haven't watched Lakers, but once they get the act together, then the Premier League ladies is going to be quite competitive, because of the young players that are coming through in the teams that I've mentioned. So it's going to be quite competitive. Unlike in the past where it was a Blessers affair. So Blessers, it's actually a wake-up call for them. And you can see they did respond well last weekend. But there is much to come in the Women's Premier League.
Okay,
I agree with Mike kabisa. And the question I will ask for Blazers is how long? For how long? You know, because it's young blood, manze, and experience can only take you to a certain place. Experience, I think, wins you easy matches, but as Mike says, it's a wake up call, because the young blood, and they are working, they are out there. So for the Premier League women, I expect a lot to come, but it's a wake up call even for Blazers.
Okay, good. Let's transit and look at a bit of national team news before we get on to the Easter tournament over the weekend. And Mike, tell us what's happening. I don't want to ask questions. Hapo nataka wewe mwenyewe utuambie ni nini inafanyika huko. Beginning with is it the under 21? I believe so.
No, it's
18.
The under 18.
Yes.
The under 18, we have boys and girls in the youth camp, organized by the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. And then a better part of this week, we've had also trials going on for the under 18 at City Park Hockey Stadium. The boys and girls who've been able to get to Nairobi, there are coaches who have been looking at them. So sessions have been going on. That comes to an end at least tomorrow.
Okay, and this is in culmination to a tournament coming up?
Yes, in the month of August, even though the dates are not yet firm, we expect to have our teams participating in the Africa Youth Games. That is the five-a-side version of hockey. So by then we expect that we shall get representation from the other counties which have not been able to get their players into Nairobi.
Wow. When should we expect? Right now they're in camp, I understand. When are we going to get the list? Like, these are the boys or the girls that are going to represent Kenya.
Remember, it's a process that started way back in 2019, but then due to COVID, there was a lull in the activities organized by the National Olympic of Kenya. So we hope that once the dates are clear, then it's on the basis of the dates that you're able to actually come up with the roadmap to having the final team selected. And considering that the school games for the last 2 years, this is the third year, we've not had active. So we've not been able to get across to most of these players. It has been quite a challenge, keeping in mind that the school games are also likely to resume in the month of May. Then that gives us an opportunity again to go out there and get more players.
Okay, good. And then any updates for us on the Commonwealth? I know the ladies have been training.
Actually, now the main focus for both national teams is the Northeast Africa qualifier for the African 2023. So we can't jump the qualifier and focus on the Commonwealth Games. So we have to first go through the qualifier, get our teams again qualified for the African Games, which were previously known as the All Africa Games. And that tournament we expect it to kick off. Is it on 17th of May to 21st of May in Nairobi?
Yes. Yeah. That's true. And I have just got a notification of some of the teams that have qualified. And Karis, probably you can tell us some of the teams that will be playing in the Easter tournament, because I know Mike has put in, or rather, and the rest of the coaching staff have put in the men and the women's teams into this, and I took note of the under 21 also. But first, Karis, just read for us the teams that have so far confirmed. Hizi ni watu wa last minute. Najua Badgers watakuja
niliona deadline ilikuwa jana, so sijui kama utachukua timu zingine.
No, it has been extended to when is it? Friday, I think, if I'm not wrong. Or tomorrow.
Utatuona. I see comment so far confirmed. There is Police, Wazalendo. They are producing 2 teams. Alafu, I like what I'm seeing here. 3 national men's team. 3. Under 21. I also see Impala. There is JKUAT also that has already confirmed. There is Thika Rovers. Alafu, we have UON. I also saw an interesting poster, a call for veterans to come through to register. We also know there's plans also to have a league veterans. So I see Wazalendo and Impala veterans also confirmed. Ladies, we have 3 national teams under 21. For me, this one is so awesome to see that we are producing under 21 3 national teams, men and women. We also have Blazers, where there's JKUAT men, there's JKUAT ladies. So we have JKUAT also pale kwa ladies team. We have UON and we have MSC. So those are the teams that have already confirmed. And I think if more confirmed by Friday, we're gonna do a post introduction on your page, and just to let people know if there's any additional teams.
Yeah, but Mike, I'm seeing 1 under 21 for both men and women, and then you have two national teams. Is one. This is good for you, in terms of build up.
Yeah, remember, for us to have a successful senior team, we have to start exposing our young players early enough, and then keeping in mind that if you look at the composition of the under 21s, you'll find that I expect to see some of the under 18s who are currently training also making those teams, because you need to start exposing them early enough. And then considering that this year we are also likely to have under 21 qualifier, that is the Junior Africa Cup. So if the dates come out, then we need to start the early preparations. Then as a norm, we need to have our players playing through all these age group competitions, so that by the time they get the seniors, they are quite solid in the understanding of the game.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let me read a few comments here, beginning with Boka Jairas, who says Mniombe nimeshikwa na kichefu. I don't know what kichefu is. At least you're laughing as if you know what it is. Ama hii ni ya watershed hours.
Achana na Boka. Labda ananidai do ya socks. Nilikulipa Buda.
Yeah, if you have any comments, just get onto the comment section, and we are going to discuss, talk about it. We're going to put it out there. So, any last thing for you, Mike, regarding the national team preparations?
Not much. It's only that we expect our players to compete for the sports, because the national team is not preserved for a few players, so we expect it to be competitive, so that at the end of the day we are able to go out there and present the best team possible, now that we have our leagues resuming.
Are you going to trim the numbers? And when?
Remember, it's a process, so we hope that by the end of the weekend, the coaching and development committee will be able to at least settle on prospective teams for the Northeast Africa qualifier.
Okay. Good. Luke Mbom is asking when the Easter tournament is starting. It's starting from Friday. What date will be Friday, Karis? 15th?
See, Friday is 15th. Today is 13th. Friday is 15th. Yeah. Then Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, and it ends on Monday, I think.
On Monday.
Yeah. So, Luke, I hope that answers you. Yes, Karis.
I saw something interesting on the KHU Facebook page, and I saw there's regional qualifiers, and I see Kenya is in Northeast Africa. I don't know, forgive my maybe niko nyuma, but how is this system working for us? Like there's Northwest Africa, Northeast Africa, Central, South. I already see even with this competition there's a country like Egypt and South Africa automatically qualifying. Does it favor Kenya?
Mike, I think that's for you.
Yeah, that's for Mike.
The idea behind the regional qualifiers, it was to get hockey being played at the regional level. Because previously, in the past, we had direct qualifications. So this system was introduced last year. So the main idea behind it is to spread the game of hockey in the regions. Then at the end of the day, also make it easier. But remember, the biggest challenge that we have on the continent is our national teams are not able to travel far and wide for competitions. So if we can get our neighbors within our locality turning up in Nairobi, or next time the tournament is hosted by Tanzania or Uganda or Seychelles, then hockey will become vibrant. And then in terms of is it beneficial, I will say yes, because as a region we have to develop. We cannot compete against ourselves. Once we have everybody in the region participating, then the sport will definitely grow. Then if you look at the qualification system, you realize that Egypt is part of this region. Only that their men's team is higher ranked than ours. So with them, they qualify automatically, unlike their ladies team. So if their ladies expect to play in Africa, in the African Games, they have to come to Nairobi to play and qualify for them tournament.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
And let's switch gears and talk about under 21 because you deal a lot with the young people. The World Cup just ended. Was it yesterday? Yes, in SA. Have you watched any of those games? And if you can give us your overall view of that tournament.
I haven't been able to watch any of the matches. Actually, I've been quite busy at work, but I've been able to watch a few highlights here and there. The point is, at that stage, if we can get our teams to these competitions, because like for this tournament, we were not able to play the qualifiers. So the African representatives, both men and women, got a prize based on the last tournament in 2016. So if we are able to get our young boys and girls participating at the under 21s, then it will go a long way into giving us that competitive edge. Because what I realized in that age group, the difference between our national teams and the top playing nations, that gap is not big. It's a gap that we can bridge by participating in this kind of tournaments.
Okay, good. And looking at the final, tallies for that tournament, Netherlands, of course, won the tournament against Germany, so they are number 1, followed by Germany number 2. England is number 3. What has impressed me is how South Africa played, and even Zimbabwe, because we saw. I watched some of those matches, and it was quite interesting to see the kind of style of play that they have. Very beautiful hockey. I think they won one match against Wales.
South Africa beat the USA here 2-3.
Yeah, very, very interesting. It seems like Mike, our hockey is coming back in Africa. Yeah.
You see, it's a process. You look at Zimbabwe. If you trace quite a number of the players in the Zimbabwean team, I happened to watch them in Argentina. They beat the Hockey Fives, beat Olympics. In Argentina, they actually beat Australia. So it does not come as a surprise for me to see them to see that growth in the Zimbabwean team. So we must put structures in place, and then we have to trust the process. That with the time, once these young players are taught, you can surely get up there and compete with the top nations in the world.
Yeah, that's right. Last thing before I ask Karis for his comments, last comments as we end this show. Tunakuona weekend veterans ama umehang boot kabisa. tunafaa tu register team ya Western, lakini sasa hiyo age limit ya enye Majio aliweka, sasa mimi kidogo inanirusha nje. Siwezi cheza hapo, lakini sasa
you are too young or
mimi utaniona wewe, weka timu yetu ya veterans.
Weka timu ya Western Veterans. Ujiite Western Veterans Association.
Yeah. Yeah. We will definitely talk.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Your final comments
Kazi
even as we close the show?
I can see I'm happy hockey is back competitively. You can clearly see a lot of changes in our teams, right from the National League to the Premier League. Change is taking place, and players are beginning to get back into the sport actively. Because keep in mind, having had the long layoff, we've actually lost quite a number of players who might never come back to the sport. So those that are back, I can see they have slowly worked their way back into the sport, and that is the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Asante sana for joining us. Yes, Karis, your final comment.
Apart from very interesting games to come in the Premier League, Super League, I also want to go on record that Park Road is training. Park Road will not go down. Park Road is here to win. That said, I want to big up Mike. If there's one thing I've really prayed and I hope to see materialize, Manze, is having young guys coming up, like the federation holding them, like right now in camp and all that. May I believe if we put them together and they are solid together, we will play for big tournaments. Wacha tuchukuanga experience tuna add kwa hawa majamaa, tuwafundishe discipline na tuwapatie environment ya kutrain, and let's support them. This 18-year-old, 17-year-old, these are the future of this game. I'm convinced those are the future of this game. So the federation on this one, tick. Let's hope we get tusiwatrainishe pia na tuwa expose, so hizi under 18, under 21 pia tufike huko hivyo waende watu wakilishe. I believe we are in the right track as far as the national team is concerned.
Yeah, and next week I think you should join me here. Lazima tuongelee fixture next week sana. Kiwa na wewe.
Mimi niko ready manze.
Uko ready?
Na pia kuwa na space ya kuongelea hockey man. It starts like this, tutaipeleka kwa TV, tutaifanya nini, but Njugush, you're doing a good job and let's continue doing this.
Thank you so much. And of course, Simon is still on leave. Kuna wiki kama kadhaa akimaliza.
I'm the new Simon.
HR amempea time out kidogo.
Thanks man.
Good. And thank you so much for Mike, of course. As always, you always come to any time that we always ask you to come and just be with us on the show. Thank you so much. And the one last comment from Mbom Luke, who says, Park Road, all the best in Mombasa. Najua huko ni kama Western Jaguars
tumepigwa mpaka kila mtu anatakia Park Road 1 win, 2 win, so everybody is supporting us.
Thank you so much, Karis. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. See you next week, same time, same place. And remember, the Easter Tournament is happening at City Park from Friday all the way to Monday. See you at the park.
See you there.
Bye-bye.
See you there. Awesome.
Yep. Thanks, man.
Nashukuru jamaa. God bless you.
Asante. Tutaonana next week basi. Nitakutumia link ya next week.
Sawa.
Haya, asante. Baraka.
Yeah.
Haya.